ancient times, this act of shringar, you had queens, you had courtesans use saffron, sandalwood, curd, turmeric, etc., just to beautify themselves, but also to uplift their mood. Now, the act of just brushing your hair or wearing kajal, or just wearing something nice is not just something for your appearance. It's an act of self-love. And when you nurture yourself, when you have that act of self-love, the brain releases something called endorphins. Now, these endorphins reduce the stress or the cortisol level in your body, and your hormones balance, and your skin and your health improves. Then we have joy. Now, joy is an absolute highlighter. If you're very happy, when you're laughing, with all your friends, when you're dancing like nobody is watching you, or you're just immersed in some sort of hobby that you love, just go back and look at those pictures if at all you have them. You are glowing. Your skin is glowing. So when you're happy, there are two hormones which are released, serotonin and dopamine. These happy hormones are not just mood elevators. What do? They are also anti-inflammatories. They help in skin repair. They also help in improving the blood circulation. And so, have you not seen that brides are always glowing? Whether they do any treatment or they don't do anything, they're always glowing. I don't know about grooms, but brides are glowing, right? So that's joy. Now I'm going to talk about some stories. Now this 24-year-old girl, she was looking for a job. She would go from place to place during the day, and she was in the hospitality industry. She had studied some management and, hotel management, and she wasn't getting a job. So at night she would sit and she would be looking for jobs online. She would study and prepare for the interviews, and in the bargain, she started binge eating. She was not sleeping. She was completely stressed. And what happened? She always had very clear skin, but suddenly her skin took a 360-degree turn, and she started developing these painful, large, cystic pimples, acne on her face. Then, everybody does that these days, Instagram, right? So whatever serums she could see on Instagram for acne, she picked those, she used them. Then there were some home remedies which some influencers talked about, so she used those. Nothing was helping her. Then some friend said, "Acha, ye laga lo, this cream is very good, it worked for me." So she tried that, she developed a reaction. She was really, really worried, and she was in fear, she was stressed. Then she went to a doctor. So the dermatologist gave her some medicines, took it for some time, subsided, her pimples subsided, and once she stopped those tablets, again the pimples started. So it had become a vicious cycle. And she was in disgust. Every time she looked at herself in the mirror, she felt ugly. She was like, I never had acne, And it was also affecting her self-esteem. She stopped going out for events, for parties, for weddings. She stopped going out with her friends because everybody was giving her unsolicited advice. Neembu laga le, are beta besan laga le, are toothpaste laga le. Everybody had something to say. So slowly she started getting into a shell, and she was losing out on her jobs as well. So then her sister brought her to me and said, "Doc, this is the last resort, if you can do something." So I sat her down, took her history, examined her, and I figured she was suffering from polycystic ovarian disease. Got her investigated, and the diagnosis was on point. So I started her on medication. But medication is just not enough. Polycystic ovarian disease is a lifestyle disorder. So we started working on her lifestyle. First off, diet. Good amount of proteins, a lot of green leafy vegetables had to be incorporated in the diet, and she had to stop sugar, jaggery, maida, food with high glycemic index. Those are the things you need to stop. Why? Because the IGF-1 hormone increases when you have these, even milk for that matter. And it will increase your PCOD. Even if you're a male, you don't have PCOD, you'll still have acne if you have all these foods, which increase your glycemic index. So then first was that. Then I said, okay, how to bring your stress down? I said, what do you like to do? She said, "Doc, I love Zumba." I said, okay, let's enroll you for Zumba. Now we were killing 3 birds with a stone. Because, with Zumba, she was engaging in a hobby and her stress was coming down. She was also exercising. And because of this, she was able to sleep well. Now, when you sleep well, what happens? The body releases melatonin, which is an antioxidant, and that helps you to sleep better. And then the body also increases the growth hormone levels, and that is a tissue repair hormone. And the cortisol level goes down. So your immune response is better. All in all, when you're sleeping, your skin is repairing and rejuvenating itself. So 3 things were happening, plus we had already figured out her diet and the medicines were on. And then slowly, her skin began to clear. Now what happened? She healed. She healed from within and she regained her confidence. And that was really important. She just gave up this whole, feeling of disgust. And so this story of Myra should be an inspiration to all. Don't let other people's opinions and judgments sort of weigh you down. Okay? Find out the crux of what your issue is, what is the problem, and try to work on it. Then I come to another story. He had his exams, he had CET, he lived in fear. He was like, I have to get into IIT at any cost. And what if I don't get enough marks? What if I don't get into the engineering college? My parents will be hurt. My friends will ridicule me. My relatives will make fun of me, or they will make fun of my parents. So all of these things were going on in his mind, and that fear was leading to stress. He wasn't eating well, he wasn't sleeping well. And what happened slowly? He realized that when he woke up in the morning, his pillow was full of hair. When he went to take a shower, the bathroom floor was full of hair. When he ran his hand through his scalp, he had about 10 strands of hair. Now, this was another reason for fear, right? So, fear doubled in. So, his mother brought him to me and said, "Ab ye to padhai bhi nahi kar raha hai, because pure samay ye baalon ke piche hai." Skin is something where sometimes I have to turn into a shrink and a friend as well. So, then I sat him down, made him understand and said, what, you're a bright student. Don't worry about it. Your parents will not worry if you don't get into IIT, but you will. Okay? Put in your 100%. Don't look at what the outcome is going to be. And then, of course, I gave him proteins. I gave him a lot of supplements, a good diet, and a lot of counseling. Support from his parents that it doesn't matter, just do your best, sleep on time. And slowly, after his exams, he made it to IIT, mind you. He made it to IIT. And after his exams, slowly, with all these supplements, in about 3 months, his hair, which had gone into the telogen phase, which is called the shedding phase, slowly came back to the anagen phase, which is the growing phase of the hair. And he got back all his hair. Every person has clear skin, flawless skin. People want glass skin. My patients come to me, young people, young girls, young boys. They want like a strong chin, a nice jawline, big lips. They want to look like their role models who are influencers or actors. Why? That one mole on your face, the one scar on your forehead, those dilated pores, those stretch marks, they're not imperfections. They're a part of your story, your journey. They tell you that you've lived your life, you've grown, you've cried, you've fought, so accept them. I'm not saying don't take care of your skin. I'm a dermatologist. I propagate skincare all the time. It's very important to have healthy skin. Because when you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, you should be able to say, I love you, right? And so you should feel confident when you look at your skin. But that doesn't mean you are trapped in comparison. You should not be weighed by the pressures of society and social media and all these filters and apps. Half the time, the things that are promoted are just promoted. They're paid promotions. They're not even true. All right? So, I also want to tell you that beauty, is not perfection. Beauty is individuality. It lies in your uniqueness. So, do whatever it takes. Of course, if something is constantly nagging you, you want a hair transplant or you have acne scars which are really bothering you and you want to get that sorted, you can go for a treatment, but not at the cost of social media. You can go and do that only because you want to do it, only because you want your happiness. You want to feel good about yourself. So both ways are valid. But don't let anybody rule over you. You know, you have to embrace your uniqueness. And then, my dear friends, you know, peace, this is something which the previous speaker spoke and said once you cross 40, success is peace. Success is being able to sleep peacefully at night. That is success. And that comes, you know, with, of course, mindfulness, prayers, a good, you know, reading a lot. These days, a lot of people do journaling, something that I was doing from childhood. My dad used to tell me, write a diary, you know, and that really helps. So all of these things will help calm your stress levels down, with which what will happen is your cortisol hormones will come under control, and your skin, you will give your skin the gift of recovery. Your skin will heal and it will always remain radiant and glowing. So that's very, very important. And so, my friends, Mark Twain said, wrinkles should merely indicate where your smiles have been. Okay? So, your skin is basically a canvas of emotions, and you are the artist. So, now you must paint this canvas with love, with compassion, with peace, and with joy. Thank you all of you for being here today.